Why, hello there, and welcome back to Fonz Talks Jerseys. I am your host, Fonz DeFalco. Thank you so much for taking just a few short minutes to check out this video. Here we are again with more jersey, uniform, season previews. If you haven't checked out my first video, I previewed all the new uniforms in the college football season. I'll link it down below. It'll be up here somewhere. Definitely check it out. That was a lot of fun, a lot of grades, a lot of good uniforms, and a lot of bad ones, and of course some other ones that came out after. So subscribe to the channel, check out all the latest episode updates, my uniform grades and whatnot too. Got a lot of exciting stuff to go on with this channel, and we got another good one today previewing the 2023 new NFL uniforms we'll be seeing. And listen, like I said with my NCAA football preview, I'm not talking about who's really good. You know, the Chiefs, Browns, Ravens, Giants, it doesn't matter to me. We only talk about the uniforms we're going to be seeing here. So for this video, we're going to be previewing every single new uniform, whether it's an alternate helmet, throwback uniform, or a complete overhaul that we'll be seeing in the 2023 season. I'll be giving my grade. Like in school, you know how it goes. And the grades, like I said, are simple. How they look on the field, the throwback. Are they really good throwbacks to bring back? It's just very simple, people. Nothing too crazy. At the end, I'll be talking about some uniforms that we will not be seeing into the new season, because with some new add-ons, there's going to be some one that are not going to be around anymore due to the NFL's league rules. But we'll get to that towards the tail end of the video, so you want to stick around for that. You get it? You got it? Good. Let's go. Now, before we get into the actual individual uniforms we want to, let's take a look at what's going on generally in the entire league. Last year, we saw receivers, running backs, defensive backs going in the single-digit range, like Travis Etienne, for example, wearing number 1 for the Jaguars. Now they're adding 0 into the mix. Now, 0 is an eligible number, and that can be worn on with any team that's wearing a single-digit uniform now. So quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, tight ends, linebackers, defensive backs, kickers, and punters can now be wearing 0. A couple examples of Roquan Smith with the Ravens. Calvin Ridley was the first one to announce he's wearing 0. Paris Campbell for the Giants, all going to be wearing 0. I think it's cool. I'd always liked the number 0. It's kind of a unique number, too. We've never seen this on the football field. We saw it in college a few years back. They were playing around with it a little bit. Now it makes its way to the NFL. I'm all for it. More numbers, more fun. I can't wait for the debate 10, 20 years from now. Who was the best player to wear number 0? Who knows? And on top of that, Nike, the uniform provider, has a new uniform template for the jersey. It's called the Fuse Limited kind of style. It looks like here too. If you look closely from the old to the new, you see there's a little bit of a difference here in the collar here with the Nike logo, and there's some around there that's a little bit of different here. Nothing really, if you really put your eye towards it, then you'll kind of notice it, but probably from like a far back you won't really notice it that much, but you see a little bit up and close. Now, majority of the teams did end up switching over, like the Ravens, for example, but there's some that did not. The Bengals didn't yet. The Broncos and the Buccaneers have not from the preseason games. It hasn't been confirmed yet. The Commanders, interestingly enough, only have it for their away uniforms, and same thing with the Jets. So it's very weird. And the Packers, they're still in their old ways. They're still in the Reebok era, which is very crazy because the Reebok era has been around. It's been 12 years since Reebok was the uniform provider for the jerseys. But again, nothing too crazy, just kind of had to provide some stuff with around the league too, some little bit here and there. I'm just curious as why the Commanders and Jets only did it for one uniform and not the other. But then again, it's just preseason. Maybe into the season we'll see the full Nike Fuse Limited template here, but just a little bit of an add-on for it too. Now let's get into the actual teams itself. The Arizona Cardinals were the first team to announce a new uniform and the only team to do a complete uniform overhaul, going 3 different uniforms, in all red for home, all white for the away, and the alternate is in all black with their black helmet that they debuted last year. Another add-on, there's a silver face mask to the primary helmet. This is the first uniform overhaul in 18 seasons. A lot of fans, like myself, have said for a while, the Cardinals kind of needed a little bit of an upgrade. I didn't hate the uniforms per se. I kind of like their old color rush or all black uniforms, but they kind of need a little bit of a tweak here and there. And I got to be honest, these really aren't it. They kind of remind me of a bunch of different colors. Like the black reminds me of like an Ohio State special. The Arizona home one looks like literally Arizona State. And the white one, it's just, I get very college uniform vibes here. And I feel like this didn't do a lot of creativity to it. I kind of like the old uniforms a lot more, to be honest here. This gets a C grade for me because there was just so much potential. And if you go on like Instagram or even Facebook or whatever, you see a bunch of people making concept of the uniforms, and they actually look a lot better than these. The all black is my favorite. It's the best one in my opinion. But the home and away red and white, I'm just not really feeling it. It's a C grade for me. They could have just done it a little bit better. The Carolina Panthers did not do a major upgrade. There were some rumors they were going to drop the silver from their uniform rotation or with their helmets, but they ended up updating just the blue alternate jersey. The old blue is now called process blue, and it actually matches the end zones for the Carolina Panthers. And the reason for it is because Nike at the time did not have that correct color for them, so they had to use the closest thing to it, and it took them this long to finally get the correct process blue. So, hey, look, nothing wrong with that. And another thing too, they changed the stripes, so now it's not wrapped under the arm. It'll just stop just short of it too, so it's not a complete wraparound. It just stops right underneath here. Nothing really crazy. Little tweaks here and there too. The Panthers, I kind of like their uniforms, so kind of keep them the way they is. but nothing wrong with it. And also, too, that alternate blue jersey will be paired with their black helmet, which is going to be coming back for this season. We also count logos here. Logos also count on Fonz Talk jerseys. The Chicago Bears are doing very, very simple stuff here. They're just swapping the primary and secondary logos. So the C logo, that's been the primary logo for so long, and that's also their helmet logo, swap it with their Bear logo, which was their secondary logo. So it's literally just a logo swap. Nothing too crazy. And to be honest, I kind of like it, though. I like that primary Bear logo now. I think it's a little bit, listen, the C is iconic. It is, and I do like it. But for some reason, the primary now Bear logo, I like it a little bit more. Keep the C on the helmet, but that Bear logo is really nice. Nothing too crazy, but hey, we talk logo swaps on here as well. Every little detail in the NFL, I will talk about here on Fonz Talks jerseys. No new uniforms added for the Cincinnati Bengals, but they are going to be swapping some helmets with some uniforms here too. The white Bengal helmet they debuted last year is such a fan favorite. Everybody loves them. I like them myself too. They're going to be pairing them now with their regular white way uniforms. Now, previously, the rules, you know, the alternate helmet can only go with an alternate jersey, but the Bengals kind of wrote a memo to the league saying like, hey, can we pair our white helmets with the jerseys? And guess what the NFL said? And Rodgers like, you know what? Why not? So they're going to be replacing the color rushers they wore with the white helmet. That's going to be gone, and it's going to be with their standard white away uniforms. Okay, look, I like it a lot. It does get a B+ grade, but unpopular opinion, I kind of like the white helmet with their color rush a little bit better. I did like the block numbers and no orange on it because the helmet had no orange in it. But the Bengals away uniforms has orange Bengals. For me, I like the old color rush uniforms that goes with it a little bit better, in my opinion. Still a B+ grade. It's still really sharp, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to miss those color rush jerseys. I like it a little better with that helmet. The Cleveland Browns are adding a new helmet to go with their throwback uniform. They're going to be bringing back this season. They're adding a white helmet into the rotation. They're going to be pairing it with a 1946 alternate uniform. You see the one I'm wearing right here, the Nick Chubb one. They wore this one back in 2021. They got rid of it in 2022. This is to honor the 1946 Cleveland Browns team. What's interesting about this Browns team is that they wore white helmets at the time. The only difference is the original helmet back in 1946 did not have the orange stripe down the middle. But listen, adding some modern twist to it, nothing wrong with it. Gets a B- grade here. They're going to be wearing it 3 times this season. That's weeks 2 at Pittsburgh, which is interesting for an away game, week 6 versus the Niners, and week 17 against the New York Jets. To be honest, I do like this Browns uniform. I like the throwback look to it. The white helmet's not bad, but I don't know. The orange helmet to me is kind of an icon to me, so I liked it pairing it with this jersey a little bit more. The white helmet's not terrible. B- grade. I think they could have done a different style kind of helmet. I don't know what they would have done, but the all-white look, it is paid homage to the 1946 Browns team. Nothing wrong with it, but I just wish there was a different kind of helmet for it. Denver Broncos added a brand new helmet, a white helmet, actually. And you know the color rush one they did a while back with the blue? They just made it completely white now. Otherwise, it's the same logo here. It'll be worn with their all-orange color rush uniform because the alternate helmet has to go with the alternate jerseys. They're going to be worn confirmed 2 times, week 5 against the Jets and week 16 versus the New England Patriots. They're called the snow cap helmets. C+ grade. I don't hate them, but I don't love them. You know what I mean? They're very in the middle for me. I would have preferred if they did the orange crush, like the baby blue or the older blue. I did like their color rush helmet a little bit more. And I think this white helmet with the orange uniform, it's just, I don't get it. I don't mind the mismatch of helmets with uniforms, but for this, it doesn't work for me. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Detroit Lions are adding a Alton helmet. For the first time, they're going to go with a Honolulu blue helmet here with the stalking lion logo with the Mustang stripes on here too. It's their alternate logo. It's a classic logo too. I actually do like these a lot with the gray face mask. They're going to be worn with their gray uniforms. And honestly, an unpopular opinion here, I do like the Lions gray uniforms. And actually the blue and gray, I kind of like the look of it, to be honest here. It could go with the blue uniforms. I mean, you can go with the white uniforms. But the Lions are going to be going with new uniforms in 2024. So if you're going to be subscribed here, subscribe for next year with my thoughts on those uniforms when they release. But for now, for this helmet, it gets a B+ grade. I actually do kind of like this helmet a lot more. So they're going to be wearing, like I said, with the gray uniforms, week 8 versus the Raiders and week 18 versus the Minnesota Vikings. B+ grade. I like the blue look to it. I like it. And the hype video, it got me hyped for it. Big fan of it. The Indianapolis Colts with an alternate uniform with the alternate helmet for the first time ever. They're going to be going with a black helmet with an all-blue uniform. This is the first time they're wearing black helmets, like I said. They'll be worn week 7 against the Cleveland Browns. And you see their stripes horizontal across the shoulder. Numbers are outlined in black. And you see the top left corner is the team's secondary logo with the state of Indiana paying homage to it within the C here, too. I get a very Duke football vibes here with this one. I'm not the biggest fan. I like the helmet a lot. The helmet is really cool. If they were to go with this blue style jersey, maybe they should have done with the blue helmet. And hell, even the white helmet would have went perfectly with this uniform. I think the black and blue just doesn't mesh that well with it. It gets a D grade because the jersey and the pants, I'm just not the biggest fan of. I'm sorry. I don't like it. I like the helmet a lot, but the whole combination itself, it's just not for me. The Minnesota Vikings will be debuting a alternate throwback uniform in honor of the 1960s and 70s teams. Purple matte helmet with the old school jersey on here. You see the larger numbers here with the gold outline, the retro sleeves. Gonna be wearing this in the season opener against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. B+ grade. I like the gray face mask too. It's a nice little touch to it. The purple matte helmet is solid too. They've worn these throwbacks a few times before in the past, but the first time doing it with the Nike era. I don't hate it, but I think there's just so many better throwbacks this season. I just thought they were going to do a different style helmet too, maybe like an all-white helmet for their white uniforms, but it's not bad. It's pretty solid, but it gets a B+ grade. The New York Jets are going to be bringing a legacy white throwback uniform. This is in honor of the team from 1978 to 1989. It was called the New York Sack Exchange. It's the same exact shell of the helmet, but they just take out the decal of the current Jets logo and put the old school on here too. So they're going to be wearing the black helmet still for another game down the line. But they're going to be worn twice this season. The season opener against the Buffalo Bills and Week 4 against the Kansas City Chiefs. So like I said, the black helmets and jerseys will still be around. It's just a different decal. So that's how you kind of twist the rules a little bit because it's the same shell. It's a C grade. I don't hate them, but I would have preferred they did the green version of this uniform. I don't know. And I think there's just so many other better Jets throwbacks you could have went with here. Even the ones they did recently before this current uniform upgrade they did with the white helmet with the Jet logo. I like that one a lot more than these. Again, they're not the best one. They're a good idea, and will say the Jets logo on this helmet looks really nice, but again, it's a C grade for me. I would have preferred they did the green version of this uniform. Eagles fans have been waiting for this for a long, long time. They're back. The Kelly green throwback uniform and helmet is back and ready to go. The team they wore them from 1985 to 1995. The last wore them in 2010. They wore them for a game 2 times here before that too. It was supposed to debut actually last season, but due to a supply chain issue, it got delayed. So instead, last year, they brought a black alternate helmet to kind of make up for it too. They're going to be worn twice this season against Miami and Buffalo. Interesting that they did it against those games. I thought they were going to do it at least against the Cowboys, Giants, the Commanders, or a division rival, but interesting when you really think about it. But it is an A- grade. The Kelly green uniforms are very iconic. I like the gray pants for it too, and I like the helmet. They're really, 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 really sharp here. A- grade here. Iconic ones. I'm glad they're back.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back though. That's the problem. I ain't right back. Let's go.
They wrote Geno off, but guess what? He did not write back. The Seattle Seahawks are bringing a 90s throwback uniform. They wore these from 1983 to 2001. Silver helmet with the lighter blue here on the jersey with the green on the sides with the old school Seahawk logo from the 80s and 90s. They're going to be wearing these Week 8 against the Browns. Beautiful. These are my favorite throwback uniforms or favorite new uniforms added to the season. A+ grade. I absolutely love these. My only issue is they're only going to be wearing them once this season. I know there's a rule you can only wear them up to 3 times, and they should have used them for all 3 slots here. If they become so popular, if you see them in the game on the field, they're going to probably bring them back fully next season and whatnot too. Just so sharp and so beautiful. I love the green collar on here, the old school logo, silver helmet. It's just so beautiful. It's really, really nice. And I'm going to buy a Geno Smith one. I have to. Much like with the Philadelphia Eagles, the Buccaneers announced they were going to be bringing back the creamsicle jerseys, but due to a supply chain issue, they were delayed till this season. They wore the uniforms from 1976 to 1996. They've been worn them a few times from 2009 to 2012, like for a game or two during the season, for a throwback to the callback to the Buccaneers, the early days when they literally were called the creamsicles. I like these uniforms a lot because you don't see a team at all rocking this orange style jersey, the orange and red. Like I can't think of a team that had this uniform except for the Buccaneers. And it's the interesting name, the Creamsicles. A+ grade. I like these uniforms. I know some people don't like them, especially with the white helmet with the Bucco Bruce logo on it. But I like them. I like these uniforms a lot. They're going to be wearing these Week 6 against the Detroit Lions. Again, my issue is they should have worn them more, not just one game, people. They're 1-3 when they worn these throwbacks, not counting the 76-96 run. I hope they win more on this, man. And I really wish Tom Brady was playing too. I wanted to see him rock this, but the Buccaneers might be bad this season, but at least they'll look good in Week 6 against Detroit. I mean, how about 3 in a row? Banger after banger after banger. The Tennessee Titans are bringing a Houston Oilers throwback uniform and helmet. We've been wanting this, people. When they announced the second shell was allowed, people were saying they're going to bring back the Houston Oilers. The powder blue classic uniforms with the white helmet that the team wore from 1982 to 1998, and they ended up wearing them when they were the Tennessee Oilers for 2 seasons. They're bringing them back here. They will be worn for 2 games only, Week 8 against the Falcons and Week 15 against the Houston Texans. Interesting you played them against the Texans. I know some people complain that the Texans should be wearing these uniforms, but people, the Tennessee Titans have the Houston Oilers records. Like, they're the same franchise. The Texans are a brand new one in 2002. So I don't understand the purpose of that too. But regardless, A+ grade. Powder blue, again, if you have a powder blue jersey or any variation of it, you get an automatic A. And I like the red. Like, the red is a secondary, the red face mask, the white, the white helmet, red and blue stripe. I mean, I can't even speak. These are just really beautiful uniforms. I love these. I absolutely do. A+ grade. They're so nice. Now, before we get out of here, I want to talk about the confirmed uniforms that are not going to be back here too. So just a quick reminder, a quick rundown. Every NFL team has a standard helmet and a home and away jersey. You got that. Good. Now, on top of that, each team can have an alternate that they can wear up to 3 times. Now, with the alternate, you can have 2 different alternates. You can wear one alternate for 2 games and one for 1, or you can just wear one for all 3 games. Now, with the addition of a second helmet last year, a lot of teams dropped an alternate to bring back a throwback helmet because the helmet would go with that throwback uniform. So the first one is the Seahawks have 2 alternate uniforms outside of their navy and white uniforms, the Action Green Color Rush and their Wolf Gray alternate. With the addition of their throwback uniform, they had to get rid of an alternate. So they officially retired the Wolf Gray alternate uniform. I kind of hate that because low-key, I'm not a big fan of gray uniforms, but the Seahawks one kind of was nice. But regardless, if I had to pick between the Seattle Seahawks throwback and the Wolf Gray, obviously I'm going to pick the throwback too. And the Action Green, I want to keep that around. So those 2 are going to be the alternates this season, and the Wolf Gray is going to be retired. Some other uniforms that are gone, the Denver Broncos, the blue Color Rush helmet is gone for the white one, as I previously mentioned before. The Bengals Color Rush jersey, which I said that'll also be gone too. And then the Browns Color Rush jersey will be gone as well. Remember the iconic all-brown uniform, the one without the stripes, was just complete brown from top to bottom. That's going to be gone because they're going to be wearing these throwbacks for 3 games. And like I said, you can only wear these uniforms for up to 3 times. So they're going to let go of the Browns Color Rush jersey, which is kind of sad. I'm actually upset about that. As been officially confirmed for these 2 teams, but for the first one, the Eagles, due to the Kelly Green throwbacks are coming, they are going to get rid of the black alternate helmet they did last year. So who knows, they're going to bring back the black alternate jersey, but for now, the black alternate helmet will be gone. And the Titans hasn't been announced, but it looks like the light blue alternate uniform will not be in the uniform rotation this season because of the Houston Oilers throwbacks. And to be honest, since they're both powder blue, I'm all for it. I'd rather keep the Titans alternate. And the same with the Eagles, I'd rather keep the Kelly Green alternate. One other uniform that I haven't mentioned, the Atlanta Falcons, they're going to be getting rid of their awful red and black gradient uniforms, the one that's red from the top and black at the bottom. They're going to be getting rid of those completely because for those 3 alternate slots, the Falcons are going to be bringing back their red throwback helmet uniforms. They're really, really sharp, so I'm all for it. The gradient uniforms are absolutely horrible. They've only had them for a 3-year run, but thank God they're done. I don't want to see them anymore. Replace them with the throwbacks. I'm all for it. You see, a lot of the ones that aren't returning, I'm okay with, actually. If I had to pick one, though, that I'll miss the most, it's definitely the Browns Color Rush alternate. I don't know, for some reason, I did like that all-brown look without the orange sleeves on it. I just like that uniform a lot. I mean, but out of all of them, though, you know, that's the one I'll miss the most. The other ones, I can give or take. And those are my official grades for Fonz Talks Jerseys 2023 NFL season preview. Which ones did I get right? Which ones did I not get right? What is your favorite uniform heading into the season? Which uniform are you looking forward to? Which one will you miss the most? Which team needs a complete uniform overhaul? Let me know down below. What do you think? If you haven't already, definitely subscribe to the Fonz Talks Jerseys channel. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff on this channel. Season previews, Mount Rushmores, grading uniforms, lists, and whatnot too. Anything with all leagues of sports, the NFL, NBA, college football, baseball, everything. Really, it's going to be a lot of fun with this channel. You definitely want to subscribe if you haven't already. On top of that, subscribe to Fonz Talks Jerseys on Instagram, at Fonz Talks Jerseys. Everything, the link will be down below to follow along, support your boy. If you want to follow my personal project as well, I also have a podcast, the Slick Back Kickback Report too. It's also on YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Fonz DeFalco's on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Everything's down below if you want to follow me. Thank you guys so much for checking out this jersey video here. Another good one. A lot of stuff going on with this channel. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be good. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a good day, good night, good evening. Whenever you're watching this video, let's go football. God bless football. It's back, people. Let's go. Woo! Love y'all. Peace out.